Hello, guys, and welcome. Just another quick one, and this is about the guy you can see on your screen, Lionel Messi, and Brighton attacking midfielder Alexis McAllister. Now, this was Alexis McAllister's first ever training session with Argentina. Messi was in the squad at the time, evidently. I mean, went into it, but yeah, basically what it was obviously there was in training, and they was calling him. I can't remember the word. It was in Spanish, but it's basically Spanish for ginger. And basically, Lionel Messi just pulled everyone to one side and said, "Don't dare call him that." And I just think that's amazing because at that time, Alexis McAllister was what I think he was 19 years of age, so he was a young player. Weren't even playing for Brighton yet. I do believe he was still in Argentina at the time, and he'd been called up to the Argentina squad, and Lionel Messi, captain. This is going back 5-6 years ago, so obviously Lionel Messi weren't exactly as old back then, considering a football, he was 29, 30, still in the prime of his career. But, and for him to do that and sit there and stick up for such a young player, and Alexis McAllister said, he'll never forget that. Simply for the fact of, he said, it probably would have been a little bit rough had Messi have not done that, because obviously he's the new guy. He's very, very young. You've got players in there that are like in the late 30s, mid 30s, players with big personalities. I think Sergio Aguero was one of those that was in that squad. People like Angel Di Maria. You had Nicolas Otamendi at the time, and he pulled all of them to a side and said, "Look, you need to stop calling him that, because obviously, Alexis McAllister does have a ginger beard. Anyone that's seen him play for Brighton Football Club knows full well he has a ginger beard, but I think it's great to see, and that's what you want from your captain, who, at that time was, almost an inspiration to anyone around him. You had obviously people like Aguero in the squad as well. Great, one of the best strikers that the Premier League ever seen, probably the world's ever seen. And for him to pull all those experienced players aside, people like, the likes of Aguero, Sergio Romero, Javier Mascherano could have even been one of them. Nicolas Otamendi was obviously like 2-3 years older than Lionel Messi, and for him to turn around and say, "Look, don't you dare keep calling him that." End of the day, he's trying to train. He was training with Lionel Messi at the time. Him and Lionel Messi were just obviously just kicking the ball about, kicking it with each other. Obviously, Messi just obviously talking through about probably what to expect in an Argentina shirt, and then obviously people, the older senior players and possibly some of the youngsters, obviously were calling him ginger. Lionel Messi is not the sort of guy that's going to sit there and let a young player get bullied by teammates. I mean, it might not be bullying, it's banter, but if Alexis McAllister's taking it to heart, he doesn't maybe get that sort of banter usually. You've got to think there's bigger personalities for Argentina than there would have been playing for his club at the time. And for Messi to obviously come out in his defence and say, "Look, no, you don't call him that. It's not nice. He's your teammate. He's a young boy. You don't pull him down." And I think it just speaks volume for the sort of leader Lionel Messi really is for Argentina. I mean, we see him on the pitch and, he does all his talking on the pitch, but we don't see what he's like behind the scenes. And I think that's another thing and another layer to why Lionel Messi is, in my opinion, the greatest player of all time. Just his leadership. People don't really see his leadership. On the pitch, he's not very vocal, things like that. But behind the scenes, in training, he's a leader. And obviously, for Alexis McAllister to come out and say, Lionel Messi did this for me once, I think he quite clearly appreciates what Lionel Messi did, all those years ago. And, obviously now Alexis McAllister's on fire for Brighton this season. He's had a great start to the season, and likewise Lionel Messi on fire for PSG. So obviously those two will be hoping to link up again during the World Cup. But yeah, like I said, I think it's just nice to see and hear different things about Lionel Messi, other than the fact that he scored amazing goals or he's the GOAT. That's all you ever hear about Lionel Messi. You don't hear this sort of things about him, about what he does behind the scenes, and why people respect him as much as what they do. Teammates, even opponents. Anyway, guys, I'd love to hear what you think in the comments down below. Did you know about this? I had no idea until I read it recently that he'd done this for Alexis McAllister. Again, start a conversation in the comments. If you did enjoy, leave a like and please subscribe for more videos like this. Anyway, guys, I'll see you soon.